Tri-Counties members. I'm Christine Schachter, and this is Tim Shaw.
Hello.
What do we do?
We are the Government Affairs Directors here for your local Realtor Association.
And we're here to talk about some bills that have passed statewide and locally that impact you as it relates to rent control. A hot topic, not a pleasant one, but certainly a timely one. We wanted to let you know that October 13th marked the end of this legislative session for our California State Legislature, and the governor signed 870 new laws. He did veto 172, but that is a significant number, over 1,000 bills that were before his desk or before his consideration. One of it which was AB 1482, which you're going to hear a lot about, and that's the statewide rent control. Tim, would you like to talk about it a little bit?
Sure. So 1482 was kind of a long process in getting different stakeholders engaged on, but the final product, of course, our statewide association did oppose strongly, but despite our objection, it did pass. Basically, it did limit a rent increase once a year to 5% plus the regional CPI. So if CPI, let's say, is 3% plus that 5%, so at most, the landlord could raise their rent 8% a year. So, and then you have to wait 365 days to raise your rent again. So that rent cap is one way they refer to that. It got put into law statewide. And there was also provisions in there related to just cause evictions. So if you own property and you want to get your tenant to move out, you could only get them out of there under just cause. So basically it makes it much harder for a property owner to get their property open.
Right, so you used to be able to, and currently up until the end of this year, you can provide the 30 to 60 day noticing to evict a tenant. That will not be the case moving forward. You have to specify a reason. There's going to be 15 reasons. They're either at fault or no fault. And if the tenant is at no fault, then you are to pay them 1 month's rent to get them to relocate. And again, the cause has to be one of those 15 criteria. You can't just ask them to move. There has to be a justification for that. And that applies to anyone who's been in the property for 12 months or more.
So there's going to be a lot of questions about this law and how it applies exactly. You know, what if this scenario, what about that scenario? So one thing you can definitely do is go to the car.org website. In the search bar, just hit AB 1482, and you can read a very long, frequently asked questions, because there's going to be so many questions. So our state association's done a good job of trying to address all the different questions you might have in different scenarios. So that would be, if you do have a question specifically on, how a detail might work, that would be a good place to start.
And all the new laws that are going into effect effective January 1st, 2020 are under that risk management section of car.org. Again, risk management is that bucket that you're going to be looking toward. Another bill that was passed statewide, just to give you a little bit more background, Section 8 housing vouchers. They're now considered source of income. You cannot discriminate against an applicant based on the use of Section 8. So you used to be able to say no to a tenant previously because they use Section 8. That is no longer allowable. And that's something to keep in mind. Again, it expands the definition by which an applicant's source of income is defined.
That's right. We can mention Assembly Bill 5 as well. This was a big bill related to basically how Uber and Lyft drivers get classified. So they had been independent contractors, much as Realtors are classified as just an independent contractor. So when this bill is going forward, trying to make those drivers employees of the company rather than just independent contractors, they were writing certain exemptions to make sure it was, very clear, codified in the law, what was being exempted. And one of the exemptions was a realtor. So it is now very clear in state law that a realtor is an independent contractor, and we like that. If if a broker and their agent became an employer to an employee relationship, there's a lot of rules that come with that, and it would make it very difficult for our industry to flourish and thrive. So we're glad to see that we were very specifically exempted in AB 5.
A lot of you have asked questions about what's going on with Prop 13 measures at the statewide level. We're going to do another edition on that because we're going to talk about a Prop 5 redo from last year about taking that base with you when you sell your property, along with split roll, and that's taxing commercial properties differently. So stay tuned for another version coming out. We wanted to address Los Angeles County and the rent stabilization ordinance there. It's been temporary since the end of last year. However, pretty soon, coming up on November 12th, I believe the date is. Tim, we'll get that for you in just a moment. But on November 12th, the County Board of Supervisors will be looking to implement a permanent rent control ordinance. And this will be very similar to the statewide rent control. However, it's actually more restrictive. It will keep that 3% cap in place at the local county level, and it will mirror the state level just cause ordinance provisions.
So the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors only gets to directly control unincorporated parts of the county. So, of course, there's 88 cities in Los Angeles County that are incorporated. Now, near us, Roland Heights and Hacienda Heights are two areas that are unincorporated. So they are under the direct jurisdiction of the Board of Supervisors. So this will apply in Hacienda Heights and Roland Heights, that you have a rent cap now. Not the state did 5%. The County Board of Supervisors is capping it at 3%. So it is, like she mentioned, even stricter. We did get together with the other realtor associations in LA County and apartment associations and other, like-minded property rights and business groups to try to fight this. And at the end of the day, it was actually a 5-0 vote. We lost five unanimously. So they're going to be doing some more of the details on November 12th. But this was another pretty tough loss for us, unfortunately.
Right. And if you have more specific questions, you can visit the LA County's website on it, and it's the Department of Consumer and Business Affairs, so dcba.lacounty.gov, dcba.lacounty.gov, and that's the place you're going to want to go to. I think that pretty much covers it. You're going to be looking for another edition here pretty soon. And remember, you can always stay in touch with us by texting Realtors to 30644. Again, that is Realtors to 30644, and get Realtor Party mobile updates to your phone. And we look forward to hearing from you and touching base with you soon. Thanks again.
Thank you.